So I'm not really gonna rant today, but I kind of wanted to bring everyone's attention to the things that have been happening in this past few days. So as you guys may or may not have heard about the whole Alton Sterling thing, and if you haven't heard, then you're gonna find it today. So this video has been everywhere, pretty much, about a black man being brutally murdered by two white cops. And I just kind of wanted to take a moment to talk about the issue. Now, there are of course some people out there who will be like, why are they turning this into a race thing? Like, this shouldn't be a race thing. Racism doesn't exist, when it obviously does. I'm also gonna see people who just, instead of Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, white lives matter, yada yada yada, cop lives matter, whatever you have to say. I need you to take a seat, because this is not about you. This is about people of color being oppressed by white people. And that's just clear as day. It can't get any simpler than that. It's a real issue, and people need to open their eyes to it, because it still happens today. And I'm not gonna say that all white people are bad, because they're not. There are good people out there, whether you're white, black, Mexican, I don't care what you are. But the fact of the matter is that colored people are being specifically targeted by people in power, by white people. And it just can't really get any simpler than that. And if you see the video, which I'm sure you probably have, or you should, it's pretty clear. He was standing outside the store selling CDs. There were two cops. They tackled him to the ground, of course, to subdue him. He's sitting there, he's on the ground. There's no way he can fight back because one of the partners has him completely seduced. One partner shouts, he's got a gun. The next thing you know, shot right to the head. And I am just completely taken aback by the entire situation. And being African American, I honestly, I don't even feel safe walking down the street. Sometimes I don't feel safe when a cop, drives down the street, because I don't know what's gonna happen, because people treat me differently because of the way I look. The same way these two cops treated Alton Sterling differently because of the way he looked. And honestly, this whole situation was just collateral damage. That poor man, lost his life for looking different. He wasn't hurting anybody by sitting there selling his CDs. There were 2 against 1. They could have figured out some different kind of method without having to shoot him. And my thing is, this hasn't just started. This has been a problem for a while now. But why is it that every time something like this happens, all of a sudden everyone wants to get wild up about it? No, this has been a problem for a while, and no one's done anything about it. Have laws changed? Has cops been having to go through extra training to make sure stuff this doesn't happen? Do cops have to wear cameras now? Are they being tested, or is anybody doing anything to change this? No, nothing is being done by it, because in the eyes of our society, people of color do not matter as much. If this would have been happening to, let's keep it real, white people, there would have been an outcry for change, an out freaking cry, and they would have gotten their change. But yet, nothing has happened to change. Being black, of course, I have black family members. That could have been my brother. That could have been my dad. That could have been my uncle, my grandpa, my cousin. That could have been anybody I love. I'm just disappointed at the fact that in 2016, we can't all be treated the same. A white man can go into a place of worship, shoot 9 black people, and it's cool. He doesn't get thrown to the ground. He doesn't get tackled. He doesn't get shot. He just gets complete nice police escort back to his car. And that is the society we live in. That is the way things are. And people need to start opening their eyes to that. The truth of the matter is, it's happening. It's still happening and will continue to happen until we do something about it. Because when you start being ignorant towards the problem, that's when it becomes even more of a problem. Because you have people who don't believe that it's happening when it's right there in front of you. So all I ask from you to take from this talk is to open your eyes to the problems that you may not see yourself being completely affected by. And I just want to say this, like, my heart goes out to the family and friends of Alton because I couldn't imagine what they're going through. This was simply an unjust killing. It was absolutely wrong. Completely wrong. No one should ever have to suffer this much just because of the way they look. Just because of the way their skin color is. But we will only be able to do something about it when people start opening their eyes to the fact that it is happening. You need to start opening your eyes to the fact that, yes, we are still having racism issues in our country today. And the fact that this is not only happening to black people, but now to homosexual people, it's really disappointing. Again, all I have to say is just keep your eyes open to problems. Although you may not like to see that there are problems, they still exist.